Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Petty Talks with Deja. So today I'm talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 5. The girls are still in Dallas. Shamia is still complaining. This episode was, I don't know, I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Just like the last episode, it didn't really get good until the very, very, very end. So I like it, but the end of it was crazy. Like, oh my God. So, anyways, we start with the girls. They're getting ready for the day, for day two. Shamia is complaining. She's upset and irritated. Girl, at this point, just go rent you a place down the street. Girl, just go to Walmart or have a producer go to Walmart and get you some bleach and some damn Clorox. Well, Clorox is bleach, but get you some to like clean the bathroom up because it was getting on my nerves. I'm just like, Shamina. Anyway, so Pinky is complaining to our man, my man, and she was talking about how uh Angela is a giraffe and she is Bigfoot, and she was saying like, "Can you believe that this bitch said that we had a third wife in the basement? That we had a wife in the basement?" I'm like, "I'm the third wife. I'm in the basement, sweetie. Literally, Okay, he got me in and out that motherfucker. I'm Ralph." But anyways, so they all come back from complaining to their men on the phone. That men probably like, oh, I know Jared was like, girl, I don't care. Get off the show. But Shamia looked really good. Like I saw her getting ready and everything, but like she looked really good when she walked in there. So Shamia, it was Pinky, it was Phaedra. Phaedra didn't say nothing. And Drew, Pinky, Shamia, Phaedra, and I think that was it. It might have been Cynthia too. I don't remember. But Drew was like she couldn't sleep, and I'm like, Drew, like you literally did nothing last episode. You probably didn't do anything. Like I understand that the women can be a lot, and they also don't show everything, but I'm like, Drew, you didn't really do anything, so why can't you sleep? Everybody looks rested, but Drew said that Pinky was doing a lot. Pinky was absolutely doing a lot. Pinky was putting 2,000 on motherfucking 100. Okay, she was just doing way, way too much. Like, girl, I get it. You feel close to Shamia and Kelly, and you feel like they being done wrong. You also feel like you being done wrong. Make that point, leave it. You know what I mean? But anyways, Pinky, she calls Angela Bigfoot, like that Bigfoot bitch in her confessional. And in Phaedra's confessional, because we only get about 10 words from her, on the actual show, like in the actual scene. Everything that she says throughout this episode, minus like 1 or 2 words, will be in her confessional. I just want to forewarn you, but you should already be forewarned because that's been the whole season thus far. But she's like in her confessional, Pinky was very knuck if you buck, and Pinky is like kind of trying to explain herself away of like, this is how I am and everything. And I get it because I am somebody that is misunderstood, and especially when you are a black woman. Like that whole calling me aggressive and stuff, like, girl, don't do that because it's just disrespectful. But honestly, Pinky, she was being like hostile. Girl, you was doing a lot. She was very knuck if you buck. She was like, I paid it off though. I got my business back. I paid in cash. 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 And I'm like, girl, calm down. Jesus. I was in the motherfucking, I was finna call the police on that. Well, I wasn't gonna call the police because I would never do that. But I was dialing, okay, for my local motherfucking bat shop so they can come deliver a bat so I can whoop her ass. I was scared for my life. But anyways, so Shamia is upset that she and Kelly are sharing a bed. They're not sharing a bed in the pool house, they're sharing a bed in the main house because either K Michelle or Pinky, no, K Michelle or Cynthia gave up their bed or something like that. So they're sharing a bed. And I'm just like, Shamia, the room being dirty was an accident. Like nobody went in there and intentionally made it dirty. Like them not cleaning probably was really just an oversight because they probably didn't know where all y'all was staying, and they was probably like, okay, well, don't clean here. It probably was just an oversight. Like she's acting like somebody is personally doing something to her, like when it comes to Cynthia, and I'm just like, I get that y'all making a show, and if it was on Baddies, Zeus, and all that other type of stuff, it's possible that they would have dirtied up that motherfucking room just for something to talk about. But nobody's doing that. They don't even do that on Zeus. So I'm just like, Shamia, it was just an oversight. Like, get over yourself, girl. Before you was with Gerald, girl, you was living up motherfucking Portia's ass. She got a big ass, and I'm sure she don't clean it that well. She can't. But I'm just saying, like, it just gets very frustrating, girl. It ain't that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, Honestly, if it was me, I would have still wanted them to come and clean it professionally. But girl, I would have been like, all right, so where is like the cleaning supply so I can clean it enough to where I can take a bath where I feel comfortable? Like, is there like a sheet or like another cover or something that I can do? Like, can I wash it? Just like I shouldn't have to do that, but I'm going to do that to make myself comfortable. And also like she wasn't even staying in that pool house. She was staying in the main house. That was clean. So Shamia was just doing a lot. Anyways, end of that rant. But they asked Drew, did she, no, they asked Shamia, did she watch Drew's movie? And Shamia's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, who did? Who watched that damn movie except for the people, the D-list celebrities that in the two movie that watched it at the premiere, and their friends and family that they invited to go and watch it too, to the AMC. I'm just like, nobody watched that damn movie, honestly. Like nobody watched that. So I wasn't upset with Shamia. I was kind of like, why are they making it such a big deal that she didn't watch it? But then I remember, oh, Drew and Shamia, they got, a little situation. Honestly, who gives a damn? Like, Shamia and Drew's beef is old and it's tired and it's stale and it's done and I'm done with it. Anyways, so Cynthia, she comes out. Her dress looks cute. Like she had like this black dress on. I hate her hair. I really don't like it when Cynthia wears like the big hair. I don't like it when she wears like the blonde hair. I just like it when she wears like black hair. Also with what's her name? Angela. Because Angela's gonna be looking like Latoya Jackson in a couple of scenes. But in her confessional, when she has just jet black hair, she looks beautiful. I'm so sick and tired of these black women, and I'm not trying to be like that. Some black women, a lot of black women can pull off blonde hair, a lot can't. And I just wish that the ones who can't get tapped on their shoulder by their friends and family and their loved ones. It's just like, girl, that shit don't look good on you. Phaedra is another one. Portia, she looks amazing in blonde hair. Phaedra, you look like you need to go get buried. Anyways, so um oh, Drew, she said something about like, oh, I didn't like that mohawk bob that you had on or whatever. It was funny. Now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, so Cynthia comes and she's like, okay, so Cynthia, Drew, Shamia, Kelly, and Pinky, they're gonna go to a cattle ride, and then the rest of the girls, K Michelle, Angela, freaking Frack, they're gonna go to horses. So K Michelle finally has her glam team and they're doing a whole photo shoot. Um, okay. So Portia and Phaedra, they do their stuff together. They do their little, photo shoot or whatever. I thought that they were being left because Portia comes down the stairs as Cynthia's leaving, and I'm like, damn, they gonna leave the girls. But I was like, okay, yeah, they did separate them. So wait, my bad, I already said that. So Portia was telling K Michelle, like, I know that you didn't feel comfortable last night with like you not having glam and you not having hair and makeup and stuff. Like, you definitely could have came and eat with us. You know what I mean? Like, there was no need, like I really want you to feel comfortable. Like, there was no need for you just not have dinner with us, because of that. Like, you should feel I want you to feel comfortable. And I definitely agree. Like, girl, I understand not feeling comfortable because like I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, and I was watching like I mean, I was looking at some people and they were just saying like, well, maybe because she didn't have like glam on, everybody else was glammed up. She just felt more comfortable drinking by the pool. I definitely get that. But at the end of the day, girl, this is a show. Like, it was very childish of Drew and not Drew, Shamia and Kelly to not sit at that table. Girl, what's the big deal? It ain't like y'all been outside sweating and shit. And then for her just to not get dressed up like K Michelle's a very pretty woman, like even with her not wearing makeup, she could have wore something, you know. I don't get it. But anyways, so Portia said Pinky was doing a lot. Pinky was doing a lot. Pinky was doing a lot, a lot, a lot, and it was getting very irritating. So the Bravo producers they flash back, and it's just basically showing where Pinky has been doing a lot this whole damn season, and that's what Portia was saying. She wasn't just saying it was a lot last night. She's just been like she is a lot as a person, and honestly, a lot of them are saying that. Like Cynthia said that like Pinky just seems very exhausting, like somebody who always likes to argue and I get told that like I like to argue and stuff. I don't like to argue, but you gonna know that my point. You don't understand my point. You don't understand that I'm right. So I think that that might be what Pinky is doing, but I just think that in that situation, you got to know the name of the game. But also, Pinky, she do be bucking at people, and it's just like, girl, calm down. Like, cash, cash, cash. I'm like, girl, calm down. Damn, we all friends around here, right? Girl, you ain't gonna slip my motherfucking wrist, right? Girl, what you got going on? Like, Pinky looks like she's about to knock somebody's teeth loose. Okay, and I'm not with it. But anyways, like K Michelle, her and Pinky are kind of like line sisters from like different colleges, but they're in the same sorority. So she's just like, oh, she kind of defends Pinky because I do understand what she's saying. Like, look, Pinky is that type of girl where she doesn't, do stuff like that. Like Pinky is a good person. It's just the way that she goes about conversations sometimes. And I can definitely understand that. Anyways, Angela, she comes down. So they're all supposed to be going to go ride horses. Angela comes down, and this bitch, she got on a motherfucking skirt and heels to go to ride horses. This happened when she was also going to the airport in Atlanta to go to Dallas. She was just like, oh, I didn't understand the assignment. I think that what happens is either Angela is like, I already got my outfits planned and I don't care what y'all want us to do. I'm just going to do whatever I want. Or she really doesn't understand the assignment. What I will say is, I really hope that she is being intentionally naive or whatever, like just playing dumb. Because if not, she's giving me Portia Williams. Because I'm like, girl, if somebody tells me that I'm going to go see horses, be around horses, I'm wearing boots. I'm wearing cowboy boots. I'm fucking disgusting. Stepping on my foot with those cowgirl boots, fucking disgusting. But like I'm wearing sneakers, I'm wearing something like that. Like I'm not wearing sandals, I'm not wearing heels, I'm not wearing none of that. Anyways, so ooh, I said Angela doesn't understand the assignment. That's my girl, but can she read? Like, girl, because I know that Cynthia probably sent them a text message. Girl, can you read? I don't know. She definitely does look good, but again, she looks like Latoya Jackson. That wig ain't doing nothing for her. It's doing nothing for her. Like it kind of washed her out. Um, I just didn't like it. Phaedra, they're talking about how she's like an equestrian. She knows how to ride horses, and she does like this certain type of like horse riding style. And I was like, yeah, she knows how to ride horses, and she also knows how to ride men in halfway houses too on dirty ass mattresses, namely Apollo. Save a horse, ride a felon. Um, anyways, so we switch over to, Cynthia and the girls, and Shami and Kelly are complaining again. And you could just tell, like, see, this is the thing that Shamia was pissing me off with. I understand if you make your point, and if the issues still arise, like, so they came, and when they got there, it was almost sundown. They came at like 7, like, it was, when they started getting like about to go get ready for like dinner and stuff, it was already 7. So they had like traveled and everything. So by the time that they got to the house, it was already nighttime. It is the next day in the morning. And I understand that like Cynthia is the person who's doing this, so maybe she could have like put some pressure on the people, and we don't know, maybe she did. But it's really frustrating me. This is not y'all about to leave and the room is still dirty. This is not a day. I mean, this is not 2 days later, 3 days later. This is like hours later. You know what I mean? Like this happened at night. This is now the morning, and we see like once they get back, the room was clean. So it was really frustrating me. Like they told Cynthia about it. Cynthia was like, "I'm going to go get it clean." They didn't even really give Cynthia a chance. And it's just like I'm not this big lover of Cynthia or whatever. I love my girl, but like it was really unfair. And Shamia, she's talking about some like, oh, I see that this is the 50 Cent. Like, this is what they talking about. This is a G unit. And I'm like, yeah, she should have really turned up on your ass because bitch, you been oof. But girl, you get on my goddamn nerves. Like you sitting over here acting like, y'all always at the Ramada Inn, like y'all always at this high class. Girl, you just married Gerald. Well, maybe like 10 years ago. But girl, you just got introduced to this life where you got a house, a mansion where there ain't even no address. It's just a name. You just got introduced to this. Cause mind you, what I said before, you was living in Portia's ass. You was getting her damn hand-me-downs and stuff, allegedly. That's just what I'm saying. I'm just making a joke. But it's just really frustrating me how she's acting like, girl, you ain't never been in a dirty ass room before. And it's not even dirty. Like that's what I think Cynthia was getting pissed off at last time. She's like, girl, this is not dirty. This is not dirty. Cause I can show you dirty, bitch. Okay? Like dirty is a sty. Like you walk up in there and it stank. I'm sure that that room did not stink. It was clear that it had not been cleaned and it should have been clean. And those are um Y'all should have never been in that situation, but at the same time, Cynthia is trying to accommodate y'all. She's trying to fix it. And y'all just keep on nagging at her. That would piss me the fuck off. It would piss me off really, really quick. And good on Cynthia for not cussing their ass out, but she should have cussed their ass out. Anyways, so I was just like, get up off of Cynthia, and Kelly is saying that she wants something that she's used to, but girl, and I'm not saying nothing because I love a good townhouse. Mama lived in a really nice townhouse. Bitch, you live in a motherfucking townhouse, ho. You live in a townhouse in motherfucking Atlanta. You going bankrupt. You talking about some what you used to. Girl, let me tell you what you gonna be used to. You gonna be used to a motherfucking cardboard box on the side of I-80. That's what you're gonna be used to. Okay? Like on I-20 going eastbound. Okay, going right to Atlanta so you can make some goddamn change down there. Like what you gonna be used to is driving for motherfucking Uber. Okay, so that you can try and make some money so you can keep running your goddamn nasty chicken and waffle ass restaurants. That's what you're gonna be used to, Kelly. She is frustrating me. They are frustrating me. And the truth is that they didn't like their accommodations. And I'm not going to play this back and forth like, oh, well, Pinky was just being a really good friend. Pinky wasn't being a good friend. We saw Pinky, her fucking face when Cynthia told her, look, you are going to be in the tiny house by yourself. Shamia and Kelly, you going to be in the pool house. All of them bitches was pissed off. Pinky can say all day like, well, I'm just talking about my friend because I don't like it with my friend, blah 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 blah. That's what Michelle was saying. Like Pinky's that type of person where if something happened with her friends, she gonna let you know because she don't like it when her friends get messed with. And I understand that, but I think that my issue is that Pinky was not arguing on behalf of her friends. She was arguing on behalf of herself and using her friends as as like a way to say that. That absolutely is what it was. Pinky was pissed off that she was in that motherfucking tiny house, but in her confessional, she said, I would love to get away from these bitches. And honestly, anybody would. But that was Pinky months or weeks later coming out of that situation and thinking about it. That's what that was. That was not Pinky in that moment because Pinky in that moment had a motherfucking attitude. Pinky in that moment was frustrated. What was your line of thinking, Cynthia? And we see how she acted. Stop Stop playing with me. I need y'all to stop playing with me. It's really getting frustrating right now. And that's why every single other person on that motherfucking trip, minus those three, are getting frustrated and annoyed. And I get it. They are not in the big house. Me personally, they acting like they would never be able to go to that big house again. Like they would never be able to be there. Y'all have a separate house to yourself. Like, y'all have a separate house to yourself. You talking about some, oh, well, they're coming in the house and they're cooking in our house. Okay? You get to taste the food. Like, I get what she's saying, but also I don't get what she's saying. Like it's just very, very ungrateful. There was a way that they could have went about this, but I don't know. I'm a little annoyed. Anyways, them bitches is pissing me off. Um, so Kelly, she starts getting mad at Drew, and she's like, "You look like the alien in your movie." Because Drew, she's kind of like looking at her like, "Girl, this again." She kind of like pop her neck a little bit, and Kelly, she's like, "Girl, you look like the damn alien in your movie. Like, shut up." So, but and what I said was like they don't like the accommodations, and the dirt is the cherry on the top. I did some notes, so if you hear me like going back, so that's what that is. But like the dirt is the cherry on the top. You know what I mean? Like they really just want something to argue about. And I feel like with Pinky, it really was just like I don't like my accommodations, but because I have this house to myself and it's not dirty or anything like that, I can't really say nothing. So that's why she's going so hard on the other girl. She don't really care about what happened to them. That's why it is, or to me, that's what I feel like it is. But anyways, yeah. So at that moment, Shamia, she was like, she met 50 Cent, and I'm just like, they should have met him earlier. They should have met 50 Cent earlier. Okay, 50 Cent from G Unit. Okay, 50 Cent should have brought the motherfucking cousins and brothers and shit, the other members of G Unit, and whooped their ass, not physically. But so the girls in the other car, they like turning up, they dance, hey, we gotta, and I'm like, I would want to be in that car. All them bitches is fake, but I would love to be in that car. Um, so then you get back to the car. Let's just take a little 5 minute breather, 5 minute nap, because this damn Drew, she lying in the damn car again about black, again. I'm like, Drew, nobody cares, sweetie, honey, baby, boo boo child. Nobody cares, Drew. Nobody cares. Drew, don't nobody give a damn. We know that you lying about this whole situation. Like, first he was saying that y'all were gonna be friends, then y'all were gonna be friends with benefits, then y'all was gonna be best friends. Like, and then you talking about y'all gonna get married, it's gonna be a wedding. Girl, how you gonna get married? You ain't even got divorced yet. Okay, I'm asleep. Anyway, so go back to the other card. They were switching between cars. But K Michelle, she's saying like, so Portia, she actually asked K Michelle about it. She was like, yeah, and she was saying that you know him. And K Michelle was like, yeah, and she put her hand in my face. And I told that Drew girl, don't put your hand in I ain't want that Drew girl to put her hand in my face. Or she was pointing with her hand. And she was like, I don't know that man. And then we do see the DMs where he was where Black was sending her like sending K Michelle, you know when you on Instagram and like somebody they do like a post or they do like a story and then they post something. So she was posting her bunt cakes and he responded to it and then it, went to her DMs and she responded and then he was in her DMs basically like that way. And Portia she was like, "Oh yeah, well he wanted to see some cakes, but not the cake she was baking." Um Maybe. Honestly, I think he was kind of flirting with K Michelle and it just kind of didn't go nowhere. But I do think that it's so weird that Drew is being adamant that K Michelle knows her man, just to kind of like make it seem like Black is relevant. If he is, he is. If he ain't, he ain't. But I'm just like, he was really thirsting in her damn DMs, and I'm just like, Drew is just a sad case. Like, girl, just go somewhere, Drew, with your 140,000. Um, so, anyways, so we get back to the other girls, like with Cynthia, and they missed the whole cattle herding. And I'm like, I don't know if they was late or I don't know if it was just that, but basically the cattle herding was just somebody walking cattle. Walk, 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 walk. They literally just walking fucking cattle. I'm like, y'all done went to the sticks of Texas, and this is the only stuff that y'all can like. Y'all couldn't find a rodeo that was in for the weekend. Y'all couldn't find nothing. Okay. Anyways, so then we go back to the other girls with Angela and all of them, and the first thing they do is give Angela sweaty ass a damn fan. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." I was like, "Yeah, we know it's hot." Probably was looking at the sweat bead up on her head. I'm not gonna give Angela too much because if you know me in real life, you know I sweat. I sweat like I'm breathing water. I sweat like I'm drinking water. You know what I mean? So I'm just like I'm a person that sweats, but not but that is the end of the statement. I'm a person that sweats, so I definitely understand her. I hate that for me. I hate that for her. But anyways, um, so they get over there to the horse, and the woman she's talking, and the horse starts bucking at the girls, and Phaedra falls. I don't know what happened with Angela, but the other two, Portia and Came sure they run away. I'm like, yeah, that horse is saying, is it, is them blacks? Are those niggers? So the horse, he like, hell no, hell no. Anyways, no, it wasn't that. But so then the woman she starts doing like her little trot and she starts riding the horse and she's like, okay, well who wants to go first? And the women are like, "Do, do, 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 do." None of them want to get on the horse, and I'm just like, y'all wore y'all horse attire, y'all ashless chaps, and all this type of stuff, and y'all don't want to get on a horse. Oh, okay. And Phaedra, she's talking about some. Well, I don't have my adhesive on. Phaedra. But you ride horses though. Like when I tell you they could have had like a whole scene of them doing some funny shit on the horses and stuff, and they missed it because they didn't want to mess up their implants. Oh God. Okay. So, anyways, like why did they even go? But anyway, so the cattle crew, the cattle ride crew or cattle watching crew or cattle caught in the last 30 seconds crew, they get on a bull and they start taking pictures and Pinky is telling the bull blink twice, if you need help. And production is really having fun because like blink twice, they need help, and they like mix up her vocals and they make it like this weird little funky song. I actually liked it. It was very funny. And it's just like a montage of all the girls just sitting on the cattle. I mean, yeah, on the cattle on the bull, like taking pictures and stuff. So I was like, that's really fun. Um, so the women they get into a or the Cynthia's crew, they go into a restaurant to eat. And it's a meat eating, this is Texas, so it's like meat eaters restaurant or whatever. They serve meat. And Pinky can't eat, and I'm just like I do feel bad for her, honestly, because I've done that where I have had a coworker. We used to go out to eat, like when we were in office and stuff. We used to go out and eat, all the time. Like whenever we had our day in the office, we used to go out and eat. That's how we ended the day. But she was a vegan, for like health reasons and stuff. And I would always forget because I'm not vegan. After a while, I would, remember and stuff. So I can definitely see how it's not Cynthia, because you do have a vegan, like that's something to remember, but I can see I can be easily forgot. I don't think that Cynthia did it on purpose. But I do also think that for Pinky, because of the place in the area that you're going, you should just like, oh hey Cynthia, I know we're gonna be going to some, like, do they have vegan options or just something like that, just so accommodations can be made. I don't think it's anybody's fault, because I mean you can't really fault somebody for being vegan. But yeah. So ooh. But anyway, so Shamia and Drew, they're talking about, stuff, and they're like, oh, they share the same blood type or whatever. Um, and then Drew, she's like, oh yeah, Shamia would probably give me her blood, but she would have to run into the blood bank and be like, hey everybody, this is for Drew. And I'm like, honestly, I can kind of see that from Shamia. Like Shamia is a lot as a person. Honestly, Shamia is a lot as a person. I mean, that don't mean that Drew ain't an attention seeking whore either, but Shamia is a lot as a person. So I definitely agree with that. Like she definitely would be like, yes, so this is my sister Drew. Okay, you got this camera on? Is this on TikTok? Is this on Instagram? Is this on Facebook Live? Okay, and scene. I mean, and start. This is for Drew. Oh my gosh, I'm coming to save my Real Housewives of Atlanta sister. Like I can see her doing that. But anyways, so they actually start to apologize, and then Drew starts saying something like that alludes to that situation at Kelly's Chicken and Waffles, restaurant. And then they kind of start getting back into it, because Drew was kind of talking about her mom. She was like, "Yeah, and leave the generational stuff behind the gates." Kind of saying like, leave your mama out of this and we'll be good. And Shamia's like, girl, we trying to make up and stuff, but how you expect me not to respond to something that is about my mom? Are you fucking crazy? I mean, she didn't say all that, but I'm just like, girl, are you crazy? But so it kind of goes left. They standing up, and Cynthia's like, whoa, whoa, sit down. Like, look, we are in a public restaurant, and we are black, and this is Texas. Won't y'all sit down? Mind your manners, ho. Mind your manners. So then we go to the other girls, and Portia, she said that she's looking at the horses and stuff, and like their hair, their manes, and she's like, "Oh, Go Naked makes 7 figures every year. Like, I could use some of this hair, and it could really help." And I'm like, I call bullshit. Why could you put that business down so easily when you got with Simon, just like her other businesses? Um, like, why could you put it down so easy if it was making that amount of money? Businesses that make 7 figures, what is that, $1 million, over, million plus, there's a customer base that cannot be ignored. You know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of customers that make bringing in that amount. So, girl, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not unless she's giving it to vendors, but even then, like, there's a contractual agreement. You could just stop taking orders on your website. But like in any situation, I'm like, girl, I call bull. I call BS. I call BS. That was the French, the Creole French. I call BS, but I call BS. Like she's lying. So Phaedra, she makes a comment. She was talking about some. Ooh, I love an Italian man. I love an Italian man to come and just do something to me. And she was like, yeah, Chi Chi, her the fake man that she met on Real Housewives of, I mean, not Real, but Married to Medicine. She was like, oh yeah, but Chi Chi, he is fun and everything, but I love an Italian man with money. You can lead a wine and bring the wallet. I'm like, girl, shut up, girl. We know you ain't trying to date nobody. Okay, you trying to date Portia, but she don't want you. That's why you keep calling her a hoe. But anyways, so Portia, she's trying to like, say the lines of grazie or whatever it was, and her ass couldn't get it. And I was like, girl, she is dumb as hell. She is dumb as hell. Like every chance she gets, she just shows us how dumb she is. So then it goes back to the girls with Cynthia. And Cynthia, she told Pinky, like, you were very bothered last night. And Pinky said Angela was below her tax bracket. And I'm like, see, that's where we go again. It's not just what you say, it's how, I mean, it's not just how you say stuff, it's also what you say. Girl, you ain't got it like that. Like, I wanna tell y'all a story about a businesswoman that I know. I'm joking. I don't know a businesswoman. But what I am saying is just like from a very basic understanding of business that I have, if you got it, flaunt it. Boy, I know you own it. If you've got it, then why aren't you paying your bills? Like you're a very rich bitch that don't pay her bills, then what does that make you? A flaunting fraud as Atlanta hoe. I'm sorry, girl. You giving to every Atlanta bitch in the motherfucking city. You have the money, quote unquote, air quotes being thrown, but you're not paying your bills. Then are you really that rich? Like, do you probably have access to that amount of capital? Probably, but I don't know because it's given like she do have the money, but why aren't you spending it? Why are you letting your reputation go so fucking sour just for what? Principal, girl. If it was off principle, you would do what Candy did. Candy, she paid well. She ain't paid them bills. I can't even use my girl Candy. I can't even use my girl Candy. But like if you had it and like the business just wasn't working anymore, then you would just pay your bills. You would wait till your lease was up, and then you would send everybody home. With their severance or whatever. Liquidate the business. Get out of that shit. You would do it quote unquote the right way. But Pinky doesn't have it, and that's the problem. You a broke ass bitch, Pinky, and I want you to know that. Okay, stop flowing your money. Stop flowing my man's money. Okay, because we finna leave you in a minute. I'm coming out of the basement, Pinky. I'm coming out of the basement. I'm coming out. I'm coming. I don't even know her husband's name, but when I tell you that's my man, my man, my man, my man, my baby, my baby. Okay, I can't say that part. But Pinky's just getting on my nerves talking about some I own more money than that bitch. I own more, and it's just like your wealth is how you measure, like what's your worth. Your wealth is your worth. And it's like once you don't have your wealth anymore, you feel worthless. So I feel like for Pinky, she needs that. She needs that. She can't be no broke bitch because then she's truly worthless. And I'm not saying that about her. I'm just saying like I really feel like that's how she views herself. You can say it in a way that she talks about herself. But anyway, so Pinky told Kelly and Shamia that Angela brought the freaking fact is wet comment, and honestly, I'm not even mad at her. Angela, she's moving very, very shisty. She being a bone collector. I love it because I love me some Angela. But if we're gonna have a bone collector, we're gonna have people that saying what the bone collector is saying, right? Right? Yes. Um, Angela moving shisty, and it's got to be noted. It is what it is. So, Kelly is doubling down on like disliking Portia. I honestly feel like they were just kind of like, well, I mean, Angela brought it back, so who cares? But Kelly's just like, fuck that whole Portia. Okay, and I honestly understand that. Like, Kelly was getting on my nerves for like a minute there because she was saying it in the confessionals, she was saying it in everywhere else, but she wasn't saying it to Portia. She wasn't saying it to Portia, but little did I know. Kelly was doing her due diligence. And she said, I'm not finna read this bitch until I got all the facts. I'd rather read that whole book before I read her and I ain't got all the facts to run her tea against her. I said, you know what? And I like that from you, Kelly. Give her another season. I like that because I need you to come at that bitch every fucking time. But anyways, just leave that for later. Put that in your back pocket. But So, where was I? Yeah, Kelly was doubling down on calling, on like disliking her, and then Cynthia, it kind of went back, and like Cynthia was telling Pinky, like, yeah, like your tone was very curt, and Pinky was just saying like, I don't like being called aggressive because Drew, she kind of called her aggressive, and they was just saying that, and again, I understand it, but if you are aggressive, then what are we supposed to call you? But I do understand what she's saying. So Drew called Pinky aggressive, and Pinky said like Drew was Sally Mae. When I tell you she was so pissed off, she thought she was a goddamn creditor. Bitch, she was just credit bureaus. Bitch, she just started flying around her head. Like when I tell you she got knocked out, she said, oh, Sally Mae, you Sally Mae. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean, you Sally Mae? Like, what does that even mean? I thought I heard phone go off. But when I tell you that she was like so in that moment, just like, girl, what the fuck? But she was triggered. So anyway, so we go back to the Angela and Portia and all them girls, and they pull up Flatline by Portia. Flatline. That was her song that she did when she got out of that marriage to Cordell, that beard marriage to Cordell. Um, yeah. So after that, the girls are still coming home. Like they were driving for a very long time. The ones that went to the horses, they took a long time driving there and coming back. But we catch up with Cynthia and them. Cynthia's in her bed taking a nap. And when I tell you I completely agree, I'm sure that they wore post and out. Cynthia was like, look, I need an Advil. I need a Tylenol. I need an ibuprofen. I have a headache. I'm tired. Cynthia said that it was from her Cynthia said that it was from her, like, drinking and stuff, drinking the tequila. And I can see that. Cynthia's like an 87-year-old woman. But I do feel like it was definitely like everything that happened. So, Cynthia lets us know, like, yeah, Shami and Kelly, their rooms and stuff are clean and they're humping the beds. And I'm just thinking, like, still, like, even though that they were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, like, the rooms are clean, we love it, we love it, like, they were definitely pissed about them rooms, about even getting those rooms. And I think that they probably were telling themselves, like, okay, once these rooms get clean, I'm not gonna argue about it because I want it to be that's the focus and not that we got these rooms. I can definitely see them saying that. But anyways. So Drew imitation Mia. She's like, shot o'clock, shot o'clock. And then she's like doing like a little twerking and stuff because Drew comes in there and she's kind of talking to what's her name, Cynthia, about everything. And they're talking about like the rooms and stuff. It was kind of like a regurgitation of everything that already happened, so there's no need to like really say it. And also Drew doesn't really like Shamia, so she always has like a skewed view of Shamia. It is what it is. So they go back to the car with Portia, Angela, Phaedra, and K Michelle, and they still driving home. And K Michelle, she's like, I like to sleep with chocolate women. And she was like, holidays are her past. Anyways, I really don't give a fuck. Like, it's almost about as appealing as like knowing that Phaedra, I mean not Phaedra, Portia sleeps with women. We knew. You know what I mean? Like, and even if we didn't know, who gives a damn? I hate that people who claim to be like bi and like, not necessarily all the way straight, they always use that as like just to throw it out. And I understand like sexuality and stuff like that is not something that's always so easily, I don't want to say understood, but like so easily accepted. So I get it why like sometimes it feels like that, like how it's like, oh, it's just thrown out there and it's just like this awkward thing. But I do feel like they kind of use it as like a gag instead of just like an honest conversation. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, she's like, I just love chocolate women. I just love to sleep with them on a weekend, on holidays. Okay, sister. Um, so Cynthia, it goes back to Cynthia talking to what's that girl name? Um, Drew. I already forgot about Drew. Drew don't be doing shit. So Cynthia is basically saying that Pink is the energy police. Like she's just very draining, and Pinky, she was talking to Kelly, and Pinky, she was like, she doesn't have patience for the BS. Like, she's never around a lot of women. She's always around her husband, and she's just like, look, I just don't have patience for the BS. Like, if I see something and it's just something that I want to call out, I'm gonna call it out, and I understand that, but also you do have to acclimate yourself to being around this group of women. And this isn't a Pinky show; it's an ensemble cast. So if they're saying that you're being draining, maybe kind of look at yourself. But Cynthia was like, Pinky just needs to uninsert herself. And that honestly is the truth. Like, you got yourself involved in a lot of business that was not your own. Uninsert yourself in other people's business and, kind of do you. So Kelly, she said that they were, Kelly and Pinky, but they were still talking. And Kelly was like, oh, yeah, well, I'm self made and you're self made. And, that's why we mesh well. And that's why people who are not as self made do not mesh well with us. And she was kind of saying that, uh, Angela, she doesn't lay on her back to get her money. Pinky, you're going through bankruptcy right now. Kelly, you're going through bankruptcy right now. For Pinky specifically, your husband is a millionaire, a multimillionaire. Is it called laying on your back when you don't have it but he does, and he is paying all the bills and he's paying like all the expenses and stuff? Is that called laying on your back, or is it called being in a marriage? I'm sorry, but Absolutely not. Y'all lost me with that one. Y'all trying to slut shame this woman because she married to a very like what are we supposed to do? Not get married to motherfuckers with money? We supposed to be marrying the motherfucking bus drivers? Like, and ain't nothing wrong with them being with a bus driver, but like, are we not supposed to aspire to be with a man that has it? You know what I mean? A man that can take care of us? Like, what is this patriarchal conditioning that we've been going through? Like, patriarchal. I don't know if that's the fucking word. But anyways, like it just really frustrated me. I'm just like, why y'all slut shaming Angela? Like now Angela a fucking slut. Like, girl, step off of it. Step off of it. Step off of it. Especially you fucking Kelly. They saying right now that you sleeping with a married man. Like you dropped your panties in a BET weekend. And you confirmed that you did that. And I'm not saying that makes her a slut or nothing. I'm not trying to slut shame either one of them just to defend Angela, but I'm just saying like there was a way to go about that. There was a way to I don't know. It was just disgusting to me, and it was just weird. It was so fucking weird. And then also for y'all to be these business women that just got it, and doing everything that y'all can. Girl, y'all going through bankruptcies. Y'all are going through bankruptcies right fucking now. Like those bankruptcies are self-made too. I think Kelly kind of has a case because her ex-husband is a whack ass person, but like Pinky, your bankruptcies are definitely self-made. You and your husband, y'all like to keep y'all shit very separate. So it's all on you, baby. You know, I'm surprised that your ass ain't in jail right now. But anyways, like that just really was so whack. You know, I don't know. Like y'all are just whack. Y'all are just whack. Let's just say that. Okay, y'all just whack ass some bitches. Anyway, so it's later. Pinky, everybody's getting ready. Pinky got on this damn pantsuit. When I tell you one thing Pinky gonna do is like she going to a damn woman's conference. Girl, take the damn pantsuit off. Take the damn pantsuit off. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wearing, pants and a top. But these power pantsuits, okay, with the motherfucking shoulder pads in them, looking like she finna go to a damn like I don't understand it. Pinky, you have no style, and I hate that for you, and I hate it for me, and I hate it for my eyes more. Anyways, so they all getting on there and they all look like they going somewhere else. Like K Michelle looked like she finna go salsa. Pinky looked like she finna go to a woman's conference. Uh what's her name? Drew looked like she finna go to a damn BDSM seminar or something like that. Like she finna go play with somebody asshole. I'm just like, girl, where the fuck is y'all going? Like they did look nice, but they all look like they was going to different. Like I would love to see this restaurant. And mind you, they going somewhere in Texas. So and Shamia, oh Shamia, she didn't look bad, but she did not look good. I'll say that. I hate the short hair on her. I just hate it. Angela, her damn ass is out. So Shamia and Kelly, they love their rooms now. Oh, they love them. They love them so much. They love them. K Michelle, she didn't know that Phaedra was a nice person, and so this is my thing. So K Michelle, I feel like she's slowly revealing herself as a fucking bitch the more that she talks. And I love K Michelle. I loved her music before Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I mean, yeah, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I loved her on Hit Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because she was just a real person. I loved her when she went to the other show. I've loved her. I didn't follow her after that, but I did follow her music career. But she is a bitch, and she's showing that over and over and over again. And I'm just like, girl, I need you to just shut it. Just shut it. And mind you, that was probably one or two things that she said this episode. So that's sad. But so they start going around because Cynthia's just like, oh, like tell me something that you might not have known about the other person or something like that. And that's when that's when K Michelle said that about Cynthia. I mean, not about Phaedra. Um, and I'm not gonna go through the other stuff because some of it was nice. Like, what's her name? Shamia. She said something about K Michelle. Like, I understand now why you've had such a hard time being in like girl groups and like girlfriend groups and stuff like that because of everything that you've gone through. And I didn't know that. So like that was something nice, but Kelly said like, "Oh my gosh, I just want to thank everybody that came and supported me." And I think that it could have been Portia Shade, but she didn't really frame it as that. Like she really framed it as like, "Thank you guys for supporting me in my endeavors or whatever." And then Angela, her messy ass, she said, "Oh Kelly, well who all came?" Mind you, Angela is sitting right next to Portia. And Pinky in her confessional said, Angela, you was born messy. Like you are a messy ass bitch. And when I tell you I love it, I absolutely love it. Like, girl, yes, on this bus ride, get this party started. So Kelly and Portia, they start arguing. Meow, 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 meow. Kelly's telling her, they arguing about sleeping with a married man. And Kelly says, did you not say that you want to sleep with that you would sleep with Charles? She did. Did you not sleep with a married man? She did. And then she says, did you not sleep with R. Kelly? And she did. When I tell you that motherfucking Kelly read The Pursuit of Portia, cover to cover, and she said, bitch, you gonna write your tea and I'm finna tell your tea, ho. When I tell you, I literally had to pause for like 10 minutes, turn that TV off, and just sit there. And just like, wow. What a time to be alive. I love me some Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is bringing me back to old Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's giving us a show, and I love it. Them bitches was in there arguing. Like Pinky was flabbergasted because she had never read The Pursuit of Portia. She probably wasn't even on the blogs at that time. You know, she was probably dealing with her first round of bankruptcies or having a file. You know, finding out that somebody in her organization was stealing money from the employees. So she didn't know that. She was like, whoa, whoa. You know, and these girls, they're kind of like going back and forth and they're like, R. Kelly wasn't married. And Kelly's like, yes, R. Kelly was married. Let me tell you something, Portia. See, this is where your dumb ass messed up at. You saying R. Kelly wasn't married. Do you think that if Kelly is coming out and saying, like, hey, you slept with a married man, you said you're gonna sleep with Charles, you slept with you was with Simon while he was probably married to Fallon, you never slept with a married man. You don't think that she looked that up? You don't think she looked the timeline up? Even if he was unhappily married, even if he was going through a divorce, that nigga was still married. You slept with a married man, my dear. You did it. You know, like you did it. So that's just like, girl, your pattern. So you trying to call me a whore? You trying to say I sleep with a married man? And she did. So Portia brings up the BET situation, and the producers like they questioned Portia, and they were like, "So do you really think that a man is gonna have sex with a woman?" And excuse me, I'm finna get very graphic. You think this nigga gonna be having sex with a woman? He gonna pull his dick out of Kelly, and then he gonna pick up the phone and call one of his niggas? And she was like, yeah, well, I mean, he handled it like a little boy, but she handled it like a slut. Hold on now. Hold on now. Hold on now. Because you the slut. That's why when them people in Pinky Restaurant was like, we got some sluts in the building. Girl, your motherfucking forehead got hot. You said slut. Slut. Portia, you are the ultimate slut. If everybody on that motherfucking cast, you have probably. We not gonna do that now. Cause I read your book. I'm joking. I didn't read her damn book. I would never read nothing she wrote. But so Portia she brings up that situation again, and Kelly she's like, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, come on. You saying I slept with this nigga? Let's do it. Come on, girl. Come on. You saying that I slept with him? Let's do it. Come on. I want to know. Read me my rights, ho. Read me my rights. Kelly is telling her, if you're saying I did this thing, then put it out on the table. Put it out on the table. She don't want to do it. What's her name? Phaedra is saying like, no, that's a married girl. I don't give a fuck if a married man is sleeping with somebody behind his wife back. Put his name out there. Put his name absolutely the fuck out there. Bleep that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but we don't have to know. We can read her lips. But the fact that y'all won't even say it is actually very disgusting because y'all gonna keep bringing it up and y'all gonna keep poking the bear and y'all gonna keep on jabbing at Kelly. No, no, she did it. I mean, if she did it, then she did it, then go ahead and say it. And even what Portia is referencing is like you said something on the show and she talked about it because it was a topic brought up on the after show discussing the show. So Kelly didn't do anything. She didn't go to a blog or anything. She went to Bravo. The same thing that y'all did. She talked about something just like everybody else. Like, can everybody just stop saying that they're gonna sleep with everybody's husband? That is a fair thing to say after you just said, I can fuck Charles. Are you crazy, Portia? Are you out of your mind? Anyways, that shit pissed me off. That shit pissed me to clean off. I'm like, girl, if you gonna say it, say it. You know, either you gonna say their names or you gonna leave it on the playground. Word to Monique. Either you gonna say that nigga name or you gonna leave it on the playground. And then Phaedra, her little whack ass, using up 50 of the words that she allotted for this motherfucking this episode in the scenes. Gonna talk about some, well, he's a married man and I know the family and I just don't think that would be right for his wife. You don't think it'd be right for his wife? What would be right for his wife is to know that her husband is fucking on somebody else. What would be right for his wife is to know that she is being cheated on. What would be right for his wife is to know that not only is she being cheated on, that after her husband cheats on her, that he goes and he calls one of his bros and one of his niggas and he brags about it. So not is he only bragging about cheating on a woman, he's also bragging about nailing somebody and like, oh, I just fucked Kelly, I just fucked Kelly, I just fucked Kelly. And it's getting back to everybody in Atlanta. So everybody in Atlanta can know, but the wife can't know, so she can figure out what her next move is. Disgusting. Like, it's a beautiful family. It ain't no beautiful family. Her fucking husband is cheating on her. Phaedra, I need you to go sit down elsewhere. I need you to get your ass out the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast and go sit down. I cannot do it no more. I can't. I want her off my screen immediately. I want her off my screen when it came to Married to Medicine. People they were saying, "Oh no, they were being so mean to her." Phaedra is not good for TV anymore and I'm sick of it. I I am sick of it. That just is what it is. That just is what it is. I got to take these damn headphones off. I think I'm hearing something. Somebody in here? Anyways, let me get done with this review. And I can go check. But yeah, Kelly is saying like, let's do it, and they just and Phaedra is saying no. Um, so when I tell you Kelly was ready, Kelly she was like, and what about those liens on that house? What about those liens on that house? You know, and Portia she's like, Portia is like, oh, I knew that you was gonna bring that up. I knew that you was gonna bring that up. Like Like this whole situation was actually absolutely ridiculous because okay, it was I'm reading something, but the whole situation was just actually like really hilarious to me because Portia really thought like I'm gonna be able to keep on punking this girl and she's not gonna really come for me, and I don't know why Kelly didn't really want to come for her in the first place. Maybe she just wasn't prepared. That might have been what it was, but and honestly, she might have just caught her like Portia might have just caught her off guard, but she was ready this time. And I need Kelly to stay on ready. I need her to stay on ready every single time. But Kelly is giving it to her. You know, Portia, she starts talking about some, oh, you know, like you don't know about you don't know how to read a legal document. You got a restaurant, you missed no prenup. And Kelly was like, well, yeah, me and my husband, we were in love. Like, girl, they got married 10 years ago before they probably even had them Nana's Chicken and Waffles restaurants before she knew that he was a piece of shit that was putting his hands on her and was not wanting to take care of their four daughters. So absolutely, she probably did get married, just like a lot of people in America, just like a lot of people in the world get married without doing any kind of like prenuptial agreement. That is not uncommon, sweetie. So to hold that against her and knowing she is a DV survivor, like, is whack. Is whack. It's so fucking whack. When I tell you that Portia showed her true colors, and this is why I never liked that the rich, and I don't even like Kelly like that, but I've never liked Portia, and I'm so glad I can say that from the top of my chest, out loud, proud, everything. I've never liked Portia. Portia's a whack bitch, and I never liked her ass. But anyways, that was really the. Oh no, hold on, that wasn't the end. Portia said that Kelly tried to scissor her. Kelly was like, "Girl, I never tried to scissor your nasty crumb back ass." Portia, like when I tell you, that's the only thing. Like Portia really views herself as like her only worth is her body. Like if somebody's coming at you, just say they tried to fuck you. Like, oh, I'm this and I'm that, but girl, you tried to fuck me. Like I could have tried to sleep with you, but you could also be a horrible person. Whoa. Like I could have just thought that you were a horrible person. But also, I don't think that Kelly was trying to sleep with her. I don't see it. Kelly gives me she's big in a dick. But that was the end of the episode. They it's gonna be like it did like a to be continued. Them bitches finna be fighting on the bus in Texas. I hope it ain't too loud because if the police get wind of that and it's a lot of black women on there, you're going to jail. Lock the cell doors. But this was like this last couple of like the episode itself wasn't that good, but the last 15 minutes, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, baby. When I tell you, I know Cynthia probably took an Advil after that. She was like, I'm so tired. Oh, Mama Cynthia's so tired. I'm so tired. My head or I'm so tired. But anyways, I'm so tired. I've talked for like 50 something minutes, 54 minutes. This has been Petty Talks with Deja. Please, please, please let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. This has been a lot. This has been a lot. But I'll see y'all next week because it's going to be even worse.